What's up, everyone? It's Andrew, episode 20. It's a little bit of a different mix-up in terms of production for audio and video. Let's see if this works. This is the Halloween episode, episode 20. Happy Halloween, everyone. Let's get cracking. So, of course, you can see we've got the double feature Innistrad set. Some people liked it, some people hated it with a passion. People thought it was some weird treasure or a pile of trash. I see treasure even in the trash. Let's get this. I actually love this set because it gives out that 1930s, 1940s type of horror vibe. And so it's our first common. We've got, I don't know if anyone can see it there. We've got a stalking predator for a 4/4 werewolf with menace. This creature can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. And Nightbound. If a player casts at least 2 spells during their own turn, it becomes day the next turn. And flip that over. We've got our next common. We've got Path to the Festival, 2 and a green for sorcery. Search your library for a basic land card. Put that card onto the battlefield tapped. Then shuffle. Then if there are 3 or more basic land types among lands you control, scry 1. You could pay for its flashback cost instead, 4 and a green. Not bad. Now we've got a Geist Wave, 1 in the blue for an instant, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If you control that permanent, draw a card. Okay. Burn the Accursed, 4 and a red for an instant. Burn the Accursed deals 5 damage to target creature and 2 damage to that creature's controller. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. That's pretty mean. A Static Awakener, pay a black, 2 and a black, sacrifice another creature as an additional cost, draw a card, then transform a Static Awakener, activate only once each turn. And it turns into Awoken Demon for a 4/4 demon. Dawnheart Disciple, 1 in the green for a human warlock. For a 2/2 human warlock. Whenever another human enters the battlefield under your control, Dawnheart Disciple gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Not bad. Now we've got Vampire's Kiss, 1 in the black for a sorcery. Target player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Create 2 blood tokens. The artifacts with pay 1, tap it, discard a card, sacrifice this artifact, draw a card. Not too bad. Now we've got Repository Scab, 3 in a blue for a 3/3 zombie exploit. When this creature enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice a creature. When it exploits a creature, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Not bad. And we've got Kindly Ancestor, 2 and a white for a 2/3 spirit with lifelink, and Disturb, 1 in the white. You can pay that. You may cast this card from your graveyard transformed for its Disturb cost. And then it comes back as Ancestor's Embrace for an enchantment aura. Not bad. And it says, let's see what it says here. Enchanted creature has lifelink. If Ancestor's Embrace will be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. That's not too bad. Some good pauper action there. Foul Play, 1 in the black for a sorcery. Destroy target creature with power 2 or less and investigate. Create a colorless clue artifact token. Not too bad. Now we've got Voldaren Ambusher, 2 in red for a 2/2 vampire archer. When Voldaren Ambusher enters the battlefield, if an opponent lost life this turn, it deals X damage to up to one target creature or planeswalker where X is the number of vampires you control. That's okay, not bad. Laid to Rest, 3 and a green for an enchantment. Whenever a human you control dies, draw a card. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, you gain 2 life. Interesting. Wedding Security. Wedding Security, 3 black for a 4/4 vampire soldier. Whenever it attacks, you may sacrifice a blood token. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and you draw a card. That's pretty cool. Not bad. Burn Down the House. That's interesting. I'm surprised they didn't. I'm surprised that WotC didn't decide to coin the phrase for a card. The roof is on fire. That'd be funny. 3 red for a sorcery. You get to choose one. Burn Down the House deals 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker, or create 3 1/1 red devil creature tokens with when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. They gain haste until end of turn. And that's our rare. Okay. And we got another rare. Graph Reaver. 1 and a black for a 3/3 zombie warrior with exploit. Okay, we already know what that does. And when it exploits, whenever it exploits a creature, destroy target planeswalker. Ooh, scary. At the beginning of your upkeep, Graph Reaver deals 1 damage to you. Oh, that's not good. Now we've got Shady Traveler, 3 and a black for a 2/3 human werewolf with menace. So it can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. And if a player casts no spells during their own turn, it becomes night on the next turn, and it transforms from its daybound mechanic into a 4/4 werewolf stalking predator with menace and nightbound. So it turns back into the human. Okay, cool. I totally forgot the mechanics for for the Innistrad Midnight Hunt. Whoopsie. My bad. Pack number 2. Okay. Here we go. We've got an Organ Hoarder, 3 and a blue for a 3/2 zombie. When Organ Hoarder enters the battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put one of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Okay, interesting. Famished Foragers, 3 and red for a 4/3 vampire. When it enters the battlefield and if an opponent lost life this turn, you add red, or you could pay later on for 2 and a red, you discard it and you draw a card. Novice Occultist, 1 in the black for a 1/2 human wizard. And when it dies, you draw a card and you lose 1 life if you're willing to take that risk. That would be a very, very, very good card for a self-mill deck or self-sacrifice deck, especially in Pauper. Shady Traveler again, 2 and a black for a 2/3 human werewolf with menace. We already know what that does. And Daybound, so it transforms later on into Stalking Predator. Lacerate Flesh, 4 and a red for a sorcery. Lacerate Flesh deals 4 damage to target creature. Create a number of blood tokens equal to the amount of excess damage dealt to that creature this way. So there's artifacts with 1 tap, discard a card, sacrifice this card or artifact, draw a card. Now we've got Mulch. 1 in the green for a sorcery. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all land cards revealed this way into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Oh, interesting. Now we've got Gluttonous Guest. 2 in a black for a 1/4 vampire. And when it enters the battlefield, create a blood token. Then later on, it says whenever you sacrifice a blood token, you gain 1 life. Then we've got Siphon Essence, 2 in a blue for an instant. At instant speed, counter target creature or planeswalker spell. Create a blood token. Not bad. Especially if you're trying to do the whole blood token deal. Ominous Roost. 2 in a blue for an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, or when you cast a spell from your graveyard, create a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying, and this creature can block only creatures with flying. Storm Skrillex. 3 blue red for a 2/4 Drake Horror with flying. Instant sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Storm Skrillex gets +2, +0 until end of turn. Not bad. Okay, well now we've got Vile Spawn Spider. To pay green-blue for a 2/3 spider with reach. At the beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. So in other words, you put the top card of your library into your graveyard. Then on another turn, or any time during the game, if it's still on the field, you can pay 2 green-blue, tap it, sacrifice the Vile Spawn Spider, create a 1/1 green insect creature token for each creature in your graveyard. Activate only as a sorcery. Mischievous Catgeist. I never thought I'd see this. This is interesting. 1 in the blue for 1/1 cat spirit. Whenever Mischievous Catgeist deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. And then for its disturb cost, 2 in a blue, you may cast this card from your graveyard, transformed for its disturb cost. And it transforms into Cat-like Curiosity for an enchantment or enchantment. Enchanted creature has, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. If Cat-like Curiosity would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Okay. I could see that working well. Okay, now we've got Unnatural Growth. 1 green, 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 green. Enchantment for an enchantment. This is our rare. At the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness for each creature you control until the end of turn. And now we've got okay. Our rare, another rare is Thalia, Garden of Thraben. 1 in the white for a 2/1 human soldier. Legendary at that. With first strike, and non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. Okay. And, oh boy, okay. This is our third rare. Zareth, the Viper's Fang, 2 green green for a 3/4 legendary human warlock. Other tapped creatures you control have Death Touch. Other untapped creatures you control have Hexproof. Pay 1 tap, untap another target creature or land you control. Wow. Not bad, if I do say so myself. And we got the last pack, guys. Trying to get this going as quickly as possible. Now we've got Clarion Cathars, 3 and a white for a 3/3 human knight. When Clarion Cathars enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human creature token. Pretty simplistic. Now we've got Timberland Guide, 1 in the green for a 1/1 human scout. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Pretty simplistic. Another common. Now another common we got right here is Otherworldly Gaze. Pay blue for an instant speed. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put any number of them into your graveyard and the rest back on the top of your library in any order. And for its flashback cost, pay 1 with blue. You may cast this from your graveyard for its flashback cost, then exile it. Interesting. Morning Patrol, 2 and a white for a 2/3 human soldier with vigilance. In other words, vigilance does not cause your attacking creature to tap. Disturb for 3 and a white. You may cast this card from your graveyard, transformed for its disturb cost. And when it is disturbed, it gets transformed into Morning Apparition, which is a 2/1 a 2/1 spirit soldier with flying and vigilance. If Morning Apparition would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Now we've got another one, Ancestral Anger. Pay red for a sorcery. Target creature gains trample and gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is 1 plus the number of cards named Ancestral Anger in your graveyard. Draw a card. Oh my god. This card is bananas. And now we've got another instant, Crushing Canopy, 2 and a green for an instant card. Pay at instant speed. You choose 1, destroy target creature with flying, or destroy target enchantment. Courier Bat, 2 and a black for a 2/2 bat with flying, and when it enters the battlefield, if you gained life this turn, return up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Kindly Ancestor, 2 and a white for a 2/3 spirit with lifelink. So whatever damage you try to deal to your opponent, you gain that much life. Disturb, 1 in the white. You may cast this card from your graveyard, transformed for its disturb cost. And when it's disturbed, it becomes Ancestor's Embrace. And it's an aura enchantment. And it has lifelink, and if it would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Now we've got a non-basic land, Field of Ruin. Tap it, add colorless. Pay 2, tap, sacrifice it, destroy target non-basic land an opponent controls. Each player searches their library for a basic land card, puts it into the battlefield, then shuffles. But when it enters the battlefield, it does not tap. Now we've got Fading Hope. Excuse me. Fading Hope. Pay blue for an instant. Return target creature to its owner's hand. If this mana value is 3 or less, scry 1. Look at the top card of your library. You may put that card on the bottom of your library. That's a pretty decent card to use when you're trying to play mind games with your opponent. Now here's another uncommon, Hero's Downfall, 1 black for an instant, destroy target creature or planeswalker. Pretty simplistic. And now here is our another uncommon, Markov Waltzer, 2 red white for a 1/3 vampire with flying and haste. At the beginning of combat on your turn, up to 2 target creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Not too bad. And here's our rare, Ghoul Caller's Harvest. Pay black green for a sorcery. Create X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens with decay, where X is half the number of creature cards in your graveyard rounded up. A creature with decayed can't block. When it attacks, sacrifice at the end of combat. And then later on, for its flashback cost, you pay 3 black green. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its flashback cost, then exile it. And then for our next rare, we've got Graph Reaver, another Graph Reaver. Okay. Pay 1 of the black for a 3/3 zombie warrior with exploit. When Graph Reaver exploits a creature, destroy target planeswalker. At the beginning of your upkeep, Graph Reaver deals 1 damage to you. Not good. And oh boy, here we go. Our last and final rare. Florian Voldaren Scion. 1 black red for a 3/3 legendary vampire noble with first strike. That's pretty vicious. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the total amount of life your opponents lost this turn. Exile 1 of those cards and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You may play the exile card this turn. That is a pretty long-winded Oracle text card. Wow. So this is a pretty interesting video, if I may say so myself. Let me know what you guys thought, whether if you enjoyed these 3 pack openings on Halloween 2023. Did any of these cards stand out to you? Were there any favorite cards from the Innistrad Midnight Hunt or Crimson Vow? Let me know in the comments section down below. As always, smash that beautiful like button if you like it, and subscribe if you feel so. Yeah, so and as always, guys, Jesus is real, and it's been fun. Take care, and don't forget, play something magical today. Peace.